you and I be blue, and the T&D for two. My mild party girl. When I am old and you are old, we'll fall asleep at nine. But until that distant day, let's make whoopee while we may, wild party girl of mine. When I am old and you are old, we'll fall asleep at nine. But until that distant day, let's make whoopee while we may, wild party girl of mine.
Midday, Newman. Couple of dozen candidates for the All-American Wrestling Team. You know, a girl's got to be an athlete nowadays to hold her own. Well, maybe. Keeping in shape. In shape for what? Apoplexy?
No, just reducing that latest wrinkle night and morning. Got too many hips.
I wonder what Stella's going in for. Just a working gal. Say, if you want exercise, try your muscles on this.
Girl, Stella. Hold it.
What in blazes is that? Just a little wall slogan, Frolic, of course. What's the answer? Oh, gee, I've got the idea from a book. It's called The Sign of a Hard-Boiled Maiden. That's us. This, see what? All those who can still qualify as HBMs, raise the right hand and join our club.
Aye. The ayes have it.
Fred, you know me. Give every man his moment, but no longer. I've got a safer motto for us. Mother Goose, modern version. Hang your clothes on your rickety limbs and don't go too near the water. Helen. Hello, everybody. Hello, Helen. I brought you the blanks to the elective courses. Got to be in by 5.
Oh.
Our one students would remind us of work. Well, somebody's got to work around here. We don't.
Hey, how do you get
Thank you. Going in for light housekeeping? Nosy? No. Just a reminder of a little feud. Something tells me it's not pure feud. Oh, please. What's the dirt? Oh, nothing. Come on, give us the lowdown. You know the rules of the game.
Come on, tell us.
Come on, tell us.
Come on, crack out with it.
And begin at the beginning. Well, if you must know, here goes. We were coming down here on the train. Our berth was lower 6. Our berth? Oh, Helen's and mine. We had to double up. I forgot to make reservations. In the middle of the night, I had to get up for a drink. Guess I was pretty sleepy, and it was darn cold. Well, anyway, when I came back, over. It'll be warmer if we speak spoon fashion.
Just who invited you in?
Do you think I came here on purpose?
Well, one never knows. Wait, don't get rattled. Keep quiet. When you're sure there's no one in the aisle, slip off.
I never get rattled. What's that?
Station. But don't risk your reputation or mine by leaving now. I believe you said you were cold.
I don't want your blanket.
I assure you, you're quite safe.
Of course I'm safe.
Confident of yourself, aren't you?
Number 8 is right down here, sir.
Brave girl. Now you can sneak away, properly thrilled.
Fresh. And that. Grand.
Was he good looking, Helen? I didn't see him. I'll bet you saw him again. No.
And I suppose the spoons were a wedding present? They were the final insult. He left the train before Helen and I got up, but he had time to go to the diner and give the porter these spoons for me with this note. To remind you of the danger of spooning. Gosh, how I hate that man. And how I'd like to meet him again sometime, perpendicularly. Heaven help the man if you do. Heaven help any man. Come on, let's get down to work and choose our courses. Speaking of work and amusement, do you see what I see? He's a new professor of anthropology. He, a professor? Tell me it ain't true, dearie. Tell me it ain't true.
Good afternoon, Miss Morgan.
Good afternoon, Professor.
I want you to meet Professor Gilmore.
How do you do, Miss Morgan?
What a break for Faith Morgan. That's what comes of being the head of the student body. I just love his stash. Not bad shrubbery.
I wonder what's behind it. I'm glad I came back to school this year. Look at that physique. Sammy. Helen. It's the man in lower 8. What?
Now we'll see who laughs last.
Me for anthropology! Whoopee! How do you spell it? What is it?
The study of men.
Since there's nothing we don't know about him, but there's a lot he can learn about us.
He's slipping.
The class is larger than I expected.
But the course would be much more difficult than you expected. If any of you were under the misapprehension that this is a snap course, now is the time to transfer to another one. I'll give you an idea of our first quarter.
He can't scare us away.
We will cover these subjects.
Is that the regular dinner?
Now, that's merely our first course. Some of you seem to think this is a course in anatomy. Now that we understand our several points of view, we may get better acquainted. I will call the roll. Miss Abby?
Here.
Miss Ames?
Here.
I think it would be better if the seating were alphabetical, beginning in the far left-hand corner.
Is that where you wish me?
I said left.
Oh, you mean you're left.
And that makes it a draw.
I'll have to ask you girls not to go on the floor in those costumes.
Well, what's so shocking about them? Aren't we all made the same?
Be decent, Stella.
I am decent. As decent as you are. You've always had it in for me, haven't you? Fess up.
I've only had it in for you because of your attitude toward the college. Why, you're the most popular girl in the class. You'll probably win the chairmanship of the junior prom committee. And yet you haven't the slightest sense of the responsibility all that means. You are technically decent, yes, but you're selfish. Anything for a thrill. You never think of the example you set the younger and weaker girls.
Now, let's have a hymn. Dum 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 dum. Come on. Come on, gang, if you're not too young or too weak. Got your flannels on, Eve?
That's one time Stella didn't get away with murder. Well, where do we go from here?
Well, Faith's not going to spoil our party. Let's go up in the room and have a spread. How's that?
A spread? With what? There's a new roadhouse just opened down on the pike. Maybe we can get some sandwiches there.
Grand! It'll be a thrill to see what it's like.
Fido, we'll have to get a car. Let's go.
Let's go. Hey! Oh, what's the matter with Winston? We're all right. What's the matter with Winston? We're all right.
Straight down, he's the professor.
Pop! It's Gil. What's he doing along here?
Oh, he's been hiking about here every night. Bit lonesome, I think.
See what you've driven him to?
Oh, don't be a smooch. He doesn't know I'm alive.
Trying to kid me? Why, for the past 4 months, he's paid more attention to you than to anyone else in the class.
You mean for the past 4 months I've been nothing but a target for a sarcasm.
You know what Freud says about that? Where there's hate, there's hope.
I wouldn't look that much. Showgirls. Some babies, huh? Dead. Hey, why don't I have a little drink with us? Ah, don't be so silly. Come on over.
Say, this place isn't what we expected. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Well, you'll pick up with the redhead in, will you? Come on, cutie. Let's have a little drink. What is it? Oh, so this is a hot mama trying to be cold.
Fresh egg.
Wait a minute. You dames are going to stay right here. Understand here.
Quick, go out and stop the car. Yes, miss.
Fresh egg, you.
And you're going to like it, what's more. Jeremy?
Say, big boy, how many do you want? And how about buying us a little drink?
Sure. Where are cuties over there? I think you're pretty smart, don't you? Well, you don't know Papa. Oh, I'm Let them go if they want to. Never interfere with the ladies' wigging. Hands up! Well, we missed them. I think you're right.
Let me get my foot out of here, will you? Get off of my hand. Hey, sister, get your dog off my neck. Who are you? I'll bite. Who am I? Where's Stella? Hedges! We've got to go back for Stella.
No, sorry, not me.
What do we do? Good night. Stella! Stella's back there! Stella Ames! At the roadhouse! Stella Ames!
All right, baby, you're coming with us. Come on, Eddie, let's get going. Take it with you. Snap it up.
Stop a girl, big boy.
We love it.
What's the matter?
What's the matter with this can? It won't run. Hey, that's it. Hey! Come here. What are you doing right here? Why, good doctor. I'm on the car.
Quick, into the woods. There's another road half a mile over.
What's this is? Find a bush.
You gentlemen are off the track. There's the road.
Well, what about it? Yeah, what about it? Give me the knife.
Run.
Run! Let's give the guy the word. Come on.
You've killed him.
No such luck. Pick him up. He'll be all right. Come on.
Why don't you flatten that monkey? That Bernie's seen the last of me. Come on, let's get going. Oh. Get in.
I know, but it's their car. You
Get
can't
in.
get here.
Yes. You're a little fool. Give you credit, though. You didn't cry.
Thanks. You hardly acted like an amateur yourself.
If you paid the slightest attention to my lectures, you'd know that I spend considerable time in the jungle.
Work's everything to you, isn't it?
Yes. Work, scholarship, achievement. They're all that count. We leave the car here. It's safer. Have you ever seen the college from here? It's beautiful, isn't it? Have you ever thought why it's there? 50 or 60 years ago, a great woman suffered and slaved to build it. She braved the ridicule of her friends and the abuse of her contemporaries to bring a true freedom to women. Others have given their best to it because they had the same ideal. And what has happened to that ideal? You and others like you have turned the college into a country club for 4 years. 4 years that you don't know how to occupy better. You haven't the slightest idea of what true freedom means. Instead, you jazz around glorying in sham freedom. Life to you is just one wild party. You have no aim. All you want is cheap sensation.
It's not true.
Now, be honest. Why did you go to that roadhouse tonight?
Because I wanted to.
God, superb reason. You fairly compel my respect. Because you wanted to. You risked scandal, expulsion. You involved me in a messy adventure that may cost me my job.
I didn't ask you to come after me.
Is that all it means to you?
I'm sorry I said that. Why do you hate me so?
Hate you? Why, how could I hate you when I would have killed for you?
Hello, Helen. We were looking for Stella. I thought she was with you. She was, but she slipped away from the party. What happened? There's nothing to worry about. She knows her onions. They never leave any trace on her pure young breast. Gee, you'll crack someday working like that. Why push the old cranium? You'll win the alumni award in a walk. I can't take a chance. If I lose it, I'll have to leave college. I couldn't afford to stay. Who is it?
It's Lisa.
The Snoop. Come on in. Well, what do you want?
I just want to buy a typewriter ribbon.
Sorry, I haven't an extra one.
Isn't Stella here? I thought I saw her coming down the walk.
Well, what's wrong with that?
With a man, too. And it looked like Professor Gill.
So you got Gil on the bean.
Well, why shouldn't I? You know the way he treats me in class. He'd just as soon flunk me as not. I'd sure like to get something on him.
Why don't you do some studying for a change?
You should talk.
A fine bunch you are. If it hadn't been for... For a courteous stranger, I'd be walking yet.
Stranger? I saw you coming down the walk with a man. And I saw you two stop behind a bush for a minute before he went away. He didn't look like any stranger to me. He looked like Gil.
It's a lie. And if you ever mention it to anyone, I'll cram it down your throat. Get me?
Oh, I won't. I couldn't see so very well from my window.
Well, stay away from your window or you'll stay out of trouble. Get out. Get out. Get out! Yeah, I hated to do that. But somebody's got to educate her. Forget her.
And dish out the scandal.
Who found you, Gil? Did Gil find you? Yes, he found me. Lectured me. Brought me home. And that's that.
From what Eva says, it's rather, he came, he saw, and she conquered. And that isn't all.
I said it was a lie. And if you care for me, you'll not mention it to anyone. If any word of tonight leaks out, we'll all be expelled. Including Gil.
Oh, we wouldn't tell. You know that.
Come on, move it.
Say, why all the feverish energy?
My theme for Gil is due tomorrow, and I haven't got a stitch of work on it.
Gee, you should worry after tonight.
Well, I've got to hand something in, whether it's good or bad. long.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Stella, is it true?
More than true. Oh, Helen, I've made a mess of things. I don't know how it's all going to end. But I don't care. I love him.
The class is not dismissed. I cut my lecture short because of an important announcement. It's concerning your themes. Judging from the intelligence and the amount of work given them, fully a third would indicate that man's place in nature is about that of a chimpanzee.
Mine wasn't ain't too hot. Oh, he'll pass you on any old canned goods. Think so? Sure.
I'm going to require that some of these themes be rewritten. I will criticize the worst individually. We will begin with Miss Ames. It indicates striking ability. The ability to crib whole sentences straight out of my lectures and hurriedly blend them with a page or two from Darwin. Provides an interesting contrast between the virtues of research and plagiarism. Without presuming to be too personal, I thought you had too much pride to try to slip over so shoddy a piece of work. The class has not been dismissed, Miss Ames.
But apparently I have been.
Why, Stella, where on earth are you going?
I'm going to do a little celebrating.
What?
My recovery.
Of what?
Of my hard-boiled virtuosity.
But I thought you...
You mean Professor Gilmore. Yes, and then some. He handed me the worst falling out I've had in years, and before the whole class. It's that theme I stayed up all night to write.
But you said yourself it was messy.
But if he loved me, he would make allowances. How could any girl know what she was writing about after that kiss? He just got sore at himself for falling off his high and mighty seat, so he's showing me his climb back on. Well, he doesn't have to show me twice.
I'm so sorry, Stella.
Oh, it's all right. Why do you take it so hard? I don't.
Oh, I don't know. The other night when you told me about... I guess I'm too romantic.
Someday, some man's going to hurt you terribly if you don't learn something about the breed.
I haven't any time for men.
Helen, you've been grinding too hard. It's time you had a little change. The boys from Memphis are giving a house party at Surf. They've asked a bunch, and you're going with us.
I can't, Stella.
I won't hear any more about it.
But I've got work to do.
We'll be back at 11. But, you're going.
Drink, honey bunch?
No, sir.
Oh, come on.
No, sir.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm...
Would you want a little drink? Oh, come on, have it. You can't get any place without the good old gasoline. Well, you're throwing the plus. That's the wrong sign. Well, I can show you a better sign than that myself.
What is it?
Dangerous curve. Hello, Stella.
Hello, George. You're late, rascal.
Hello, George.
Hello, George.
Hello, Beth.
Say, George, do me a favor. Rescue Helen.
Helen, is she here?
Right over there.
Okay. Thanks. Stella?
Dallas? George!
It's all right, Helen. You're the last person in the world I expected to find here.
Well, being as you found her, how'd you like to go out and find somebody else?
Don't get excited.
Right? Well, I picked my own cat.
The life of the party's getting a bit nasty. Let's give him the dizzy.
The dizzy? What's that?
You'll see. Give the girl some low down, baby. Hurry up. All right. Get back in the shift, Bill.
I take that from you.
Save your strength, Samson. You may need it.
Oh, I'll stand for it.
Thank you so much. Time we're going, baby.
Going?
Oh, no. I guess I've got to go.
Oh, it's early yet.
Romeo. What's the hurry? If we leave by 4, we'll get in at dawn. But I promised Helen Faithful to have her home at 11 o'clock. It's safe enough, Helen. We'll get in through Anne's window.
Please. Oh, come on, Helen.
There might be a fire drill, though. We had one 2 nights ago. They won't pull another one for a month. You said it.
Please, I'll get you home all right.
I'd like to stay. We think it's safe now. Of course it's safe, darling. I'll go and call Anne, fix it up for her. What? Grand.
Oh, see, you're happy stuff.
4 o'clock is closing time, everyone. Oh, yeah.
Helen, let's walk out on the beach. It's quieter there.
Oh, no. be in a huddle all the time. This isn't football. Waiting.
For what?
Hello? Hello, Ann? This is S.A. Anyone around?
No, it's all right.
Listen, kid, we're going to stay over here until about 4 o'clock. We'll be in before sunrise. Leave the window open and keep us covered if anything happens.
Nothing will happen. Too much excitement here.
What's up?
Wilson, shot. Was he?
No, just a shot through the shoulder. It's not dangerous.
Say, who is this other guy?
How did it happen?
He said he was held up while he was walking down the road. You know, like the other night. But I've got my opinion it was the same gang. And he's protecting someone. You know what I mean. Someone's coming. So long.
Hey, how many guys are you in love with, anyway?
One.
You. Why, 2 minutes ago, you were getting pash with me. And if it wasn't me, it would be somebody else. You couldn't love anyone.
Please leave me alone. Understand? Alone.
You are just a carefree child. Really, you are not so wild. Still, I always like to call you one hearty girl. When there is a jamboree, I want you along with me. That is why I always call you.
There. Time to go. It's 4 o'clock. All right. Where is Helen? I don't know. I haven't seen her.
Well, I'd better get the car.
Please, thanks. Have you seen Helen?
Seen her? Sure I've seen her. She's gone picketing.
Helen, picketing? Helen? Helen?
Helen! Why don't you answer me? Yes, Stella, I'm coming.
George, how could you?
Could what? Listen, Stella, I love Helen. And if you were a little more decent, you'd realize what that means. You think all men are alike. Well, they are. To one kind of girl. But Helen, she's different. She's lovely.
I'm sorry. I'm rotten. But you see, I love Helen too.
Stella, forgive me. I'm sorry for what I've said.
It's all right. Gil, I know it's insane to come here at this hour. But I just had to. I had to know how you are.
Oh, that? No, that's nothing. Nearly healed. It was a cheap price for getting rid of that baboon.
Gil, I worried so about you.
No need to worry. He won't show his face again. He's a coward. You can go home and sleep peacefully. I'm safe, and you're safe.
Haven't you any feeling? Did that kiss mean anything to you?
What did it mean to you? No, not the kiss. No, that might have happened to anyone. But those moments afterward, moments that seemed to lift us into a beautiful understanding. When you made me think that I'd found the real you, what did that mean to you?
Everything, Gil.
Well, you've chosen an amazing way of showing it by shirking on the job just as before. By even expecting me to betray mine.
I never asked you to show me any favors.
No. You took it for granted, didn't you? And when I tried to stir your pride, to put fight into you, you hadn't the courage to stand up and take it. You ran. You asked to be transferred from the course. I hate cowards.
You mean you hate me?
Yes. I hate you and I love you. I hate you for what you've been and I love you for what you could be.
Will be, Gil.
Who is it?
Only me, Eva.
Yes?
Oh, I just wanted to leave my things.
Well, my office was the place to leave it.
Oh, but I thought it would be all right to leave it here. I'm sure I saw another girl come here.
Another girl? Oh, my servant will be flattered to think she looks so young. I'll read this first thing tomorrow. Incidentally, I hope it's better than usual. And you may be sure that your work will continue to be graded strictly on its merits. Good night.
I gotta run. Oh, dear. You can frighten people so.
Are you frightened?
A little bit.
If I remember right, you get cold easily.
I should go. Past 11. Look.
Oh, past 12 is just as safe as past 11.
You certainly know how to kindle a fire. Did you learn that in the jungle, too?
Had to come north for that. You little savage.
It's a fire drill. It's our dormitory. What shall I do? You better go this way.
Go around the back way. Quick.
It's a rotten shame the way this chump got through in a little sleep we get.
It's a false alarm. Abby?
Here.
Abby?
Here.
Ames?
Here.
Who answered for Ames? Is Stella Ames here?
And if not, why not?
Next time, please be a little more prompt.
Varro. Here. Berman. Here. Bolton. Here. Brooks. Here. Bruce. Here. Campbell. Here. Carey. Here. Cartwright. Dillon. Here.
Oh. Did you lose something, Sue?
Yes, some letters. A page from one of George's, and part of when I started to write him.
That all? Why all the tragedy? George will write plenty more.
It's not that. Suppose somebody finds them. Suppose they get to the faculty. I'd lose the alumni award.
What terrible thing did he write, you innocent lamb?
He wrote about that night we spent on the beach together.
That's bad.
It would sound awful to anyone that didn't know. You remember what you saw. And worse, I told him I violated the strictest of college rules to stay with him that night.
You dumb bunny. What did you do that for?
He said I didn't love him because I wouldn't see him.
And you took him seriously. Don't you know that every man has got to suffer on paper? Was your name in the letters?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then how could anyone test them on you?
I wrote him I couldn't see him until after the alumni award.
Oh, gee, that's bad.
I've just got to win the award. I've just got to. It means money enough to go on here. It means a chance to go on with the work I love after I leave college. I've worked so darn hard. And the way Mother's given up things so I could stay on here. That's what hurts.
Don't worry, dear. I'll slip around in the morning and I'll find them. I'd like to see anybody slap you around while I'm here. What a workout.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
What is your game?
Well, how's your muscle?
Oh, it's not so good.
That's terrible. Feel this one, though. Like you're kind of violent. Well, what's up now? Somebody killed somebody?
Well, that balloting is just a waste of time, Stella. You have a chairmanship cinch, just as Helen has the alumni award cinch.
Oh, you fun, Merle.
Who will that guy? Yes, I do. The best student and the queen of the rip.
Oh, come on, out of here. Gosh, you're some kidder. You embarrass me. Gosh, I'm a little bit thirsty around. Well, I'm tired.
Stella.
What is it, beautiful?
I found your buckle.
And where did you find it?
In the funniest place. Right under Gil's window.
I'll see you later.
Naughty, naughty.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, you little sneak.
Well, don't you talk. I know a thing or two about you, too. You think she found my letter?
Leave her to me.
Wait a minute. I have something to say to you.
What did you mean by that crack you just made to Helen? Come out of the wax. Did you find me in the hall after the fire drill night before last?
No.
Don't lie to me.
No.
Then come out with it.
I found some letters.
What did you do with them?
Well, I gave them to Faith Morgan.
You skunk.
Hello, Stella.
Yeah, I've just seen Eva.
I know. Little rat has already been here. And she's passed with flying colors.
Oh, Gil.
I had to. She knows enough to make an impossible scandal with that nasty, sex-starved imagination of hers. At least I saved the remnants of my conscience. All the other half-wits and the mewling morons of the class got the same dispensation. I won't give it to one and not the other. Hereafter, my course will be known as a soft snap, to be joyously elected by all the house guests that visit these halls.
Oh, Gil, I made a mess of things. Your work is everything to you. It's your whole life. You've always had such high ideals and lived up to them until I came along.
Dear, you're not to blame as much as I. It's my fault more than yours. But it's been worth it. Hasn't it, dear?
I'm not sure, Gil.
Why?
Your life is here. You've always said that college should come first. You see, I've begun to get your creed, too.
Hurry then, come on.
Come in.
Good
afternoon.
Feeling better, Sandra?
Yes, much better, thank you.
How's your poor arm today?
Quite all right.
Hurt?
No, not
Was it
so.
awfully exciting?
Yes.
We were all so thrilled.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I do hope you like the themes better this time,
Yes,
Professor.
I hope
Here's
so.
my theme.
Yes.
There's mine. There's mine, too.
Yes, thank you.
Stella, Babs is outside looking all over for you.
What's up, Babs? Eva's found the letters, and she's given them to Faith Morgan. What? I almost had to pull her ear off to make her confess. And I would have if I'd known what to do with it. All right. I'll see Faith.
Hello, Stella.
Hello, Faith.
I heard that Eva Tuck gave you some letters. Yes.
Well, you aren't going to turn them over to the board, are you?
I have to, Stella. They concern the Alumni Award. You know it's the highest honor we have. And it mustn't go to Helen if she's unworthy. Helen? What has she got to do with the letters? There's no doubt they were hers.
Helen? Could I see them? Please, Faith. If they're what I think they are, I can save you from doing something that you'd always be sorry for.
All right. contemptible.
Why shouldn't I take them? They're my letters.
Yours?
Why, certainly. What if it gave you the wild idea they were Helen's?
What about the reference to the Alumni Award? I suppose that means a lot to you.
Faith, you don't know what it means to me. You know Helen. You know the kind of a girl she is. She wouldn't do anything that wasn't decent and straight. Don't you?
I'd always thought so.
But I know her. I've watched her for over 2 years, slaving at her work, giving up all her fun because she had ideals. Show me any other girl in this college who cares for scholarships the way she does. Oh, I'm silly and frivolous, but I've come to love and admire her more than any other girl I've ever seen. Why, you want to know as well as I that Helen couldn't do anything that wasn't fine.
But I reported the letters to the disciplinary committee. I've got to take them there. I can't lie about it.
You won't have to lie, because I'm going over there with you.
Good afternoon, Miss Morgan.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Ames.
Good afternoon. I have something to say to you before you begin your meeting. It's concerning the letters that were found outside my door.
Have you the letters, Miss Morgan?
No, she hasn't. I took them from her. They are so personal, I can't let anyone read them.
But they are extremely important. We must know their contents.
But I can't let you read them. They are my letters. I am willing to admit everything that is in them. I'll even admit I spent the night out on the beach with a man several weeks ago. I can't tell you anymore. I am leaving college this afternoon. Goodbye.
To take.
Oh, I've other reasons for leaving college. Even if the letters hadn't been found. After all, I haven't been such a credit to Winston.
Stella, I called you selfish once. I'm sorry.
Where are you going?
Checking college.
Why? Got too warm for me. I never should have come, never. All I've done is to cause trouble. Now I've got to get into trouble. Time I left before I caused any more. Does he know? Yes. He knows. You found my letters. Yeah. While I was cleaning up things. Next time, don't write. Telegraph. It's safer.
Let me help you.
Got my perfume.
Thanks.
Would be your shoe causing all the trouble.
It's going to be wretched here without you, Stella.
Oh, we'll see a lot of each other vacation. You'll be famous around here when you win the award. You're going to do big things. You and Gil. Come in.
You know, you're a most inept little liar. And you didn't expect me to believe that, did you?
Aren't you even angry?
No, I'm glad. I'm glad you had the courage to make me come to a decision. I'm leaving college, too, at the end of the term.
But your work.
Work? There'll be plenty ahead for both of us, but we'll probably do more good. We start next June on an expedition to Malaya. No morons, but plenty of savages. We'll be right at home.
I see you found her all right, sir.
Yeah. For keeps.
My savage.
When a whoopee lays up, I will still be true to you. Wild party girl of the world.
The night that began with laughter ends in ruin. The air is thick with panic now. Perfume replaced by the sour sting of spilled gin. The rhythm of jazz drowned beneath shouts and broken glass. The wild party has collapsed into chaos, and the fantasy of endless freedom shatters like a dropped champagne flute. Stella stands at the center of it all, her silver dress torn, her eyes wide with disbelief as the police burst through the door. Flashlights slice through the smoke-filled room. Girls scream, boys scatter. The gramophone skips and dies in a shriek of static. For the first time, Stella doesn't know what to do. She's no longer the girl who owns the night. She's just a frightened young woman realizing the world has finally caught up to her. Professor Gilmore rushes forward, trying to protect her from the officers, pleading for leniency, but his voice is lost in the noise. The scandal hits Winston College like a thunderclap the next morning. Headlines whisper of college girls gone wild, of parties, liquor, and shame. Dean Hall's face is pale with fury and disappointment as she summons Stella, her words sharp enough to cut through stone. Expulsion seems certain, her future crumbling in the hands of rumor and judgment. Yet beneath the scolding, there's something else, sorrow. The world that Stella thought she could bend to her has snapped back with merciless force. And still, Gilmore stands by her, risking his own career to defend her honor, claiming responsibility where he is none. Their connection, once dangerous, becomes something almost sacred, a shared ruin that binds them. "You don't have to save me," Stella says quietly, her voice stripped of its bravado. "I made my choice." But Gilmore looks at her with a kind of tenderness that defies the world's condemnation. "Then let me make mine," he answers. The dean relents only slightly. Stella is to leave the college, her name erased from the roll, but her spirit, unbroken, remains. As she packs her things, Helen hugs her tightly, tears mixing with silence. The corridors feel endless, every step echoing with memories of laughter that once filled these walls. Outside, the world seems too bright, too real. Gilmore is waiting by the gate, hat in hand, eyes full of questions and forgiveness. They walk together for a while without speaking, the weight of unspoken words pressing between them. Stella stops and looks at him, her smile faint but genuine. "I guess I finally grew up," she says. "No," he replies softly. "You just stopped pretending." She laughs, not the wild, reckless laugh of the girl who danced through life, but a quieter, stronger one, born from pain and truth. As she walks away, the camera lingers on her silhouette fading into the morning light, a fallen flapper, yes, but also a survivor of her own creation. The jazz fades into silence, replaced by the hum of a new dawn. The wild party is over, but for Stella Ames, the story of who she truly is has only just begun. Days pass, but the tension refuses to fade. It only deepens, wrapping around Stella and Professor Gilmore like smoke in a locked room. The college may look quiet on the outside, but beneath its polished order, emotions churn. Stella can't focus in class anymore. Every lecture feels like a duel between discipline and desire. Gilmore avoids her eyes, but the restraint in his voice betrays everything he's trying to hide. Whispers start spreading through the dorms, that Stella's charm has gone too far, that she's playing a dangerous game with a man's career. Helen begs her to stop, but Stella laughs it off, her pride louder than her fear. Yet when she catches her reflection in the mirror, even she can see the change, the sparkle in her eyes dimmed by something she can't name. One Friday night, when the pressure becomes unbearable, she decides to do what she does best, run toward the noise. Her friends plan another party, bigger, wilder, farther from the dean's reach. It's the Roaring Twenties at its height, the air thick with the rhythm of jazz and the sweet rebellion of youth. They rent a city apartment, fill it with lights, liquor, and laughter. The girls trade their modest college dresses for sequins and silk, stepping into their alter egos, free, fearless, untouchable. As the music roars, Stella becomes the star again, her body moving with the confidence of someone who owns the world. Men line up to dance with her. Glasses clink. Someone turns up the gramophone until the floor shakes. But as the laughter grows louder, the night turns heavy. The liquor blurs lines, the air grows warmer, and behind every smile hides a secret longing. Professor Gilmore, after hours of resisting, arrives, drawn not by duty, but by something stronger. He sees Stella in the crowd, her hair glinting gold under the lamplight, and for a moment, he forgets everything. His position, his principles, even the walls of the college he swore to protect. Their eyes meet across the chaos, and the world freezes. The music fades. It's just them, two people standing on the edge of a decision that could change everything. He tries to leave, but Stella follows him out into the cold night air, where the city hums softly beneath the stars. "You shouldn't be here," he says, but his voice trembles. "Neither should you," she replies, her tone half challenge, half confession. There's a pause, a silence that feels alive. Then she steps closer, so close he can smell the faint perfume of champagne and danger. "You wanted to understand me, didn't you?" she whispers. It's a moment too raw, too real, the point of no return. But before either can speak again, chaos erupts inside. A fight breaks out, laughter turns to shouting, and the wild party spirals into madness. Stella turns to look, realizing too late that her search for freedom has unleashed something she can't control. The line between rebellion and ruin has vanished, and now, the night that promised escape might just end everything she knows. The night that began with laughter ends in ruin. The air is thick with panic now, perfume replaced by the sour sting of spilled gin, the rhythm of jazz drowned beneath shouts and broken glass. The wild party has collapsed into chaos, and the fantasy of endless freedom shatters like a dropped champagne flute. Stella stands at the center of it all, her silver dress torn, her eyes wide with disbelief as the police burst through the door. Flashlights slice through the smoke-filled room. Girls scream, boys scatter. The gramophone skips and dies in a shriek of static. For the first time, Stella doesn't know what to do. She's no longer the girl who owns the night. She's just a frightened young woman realizing the world has finally caught up to her. Professor Gilmore rushes forward, trying to protect her from the officers, pleading for leniency, but his voice is lost in the noise. The scandal hits Winston College like a thunderclap the next morning. Headlines whisper of college girls gone wild, of parties, liquor, and shame. Dean Hall's face is pale with fury and disappointment as she summons Stella, her words sharp enough to cut through stone. Expulsion seems certain, her future crumbling in the hands of rumor and judgment. Yet beneath the scolding, there's something else, sorrow. The world that Stella thought she could bend to her will have snapped back with merciless force. And still, Gilmore stands by her, risking his own career to defend her honor, claiming responsibility where he is none. Their connection, once dangerous, becomes something almost sacred, a shared ruin that binds them. "You don't have to save me," Stella says quietly, her voice stripped of its bravado. "I made my choice." But Gilmore looks at her with a kind of tenderness that defies the world's condemnation. "Then let me make mine," he answers. The dean relents only slightly. Stella is to leave the college, her name erased from the roll, but her spirit, unbroken, remains. As she packs her things, Helen hugs her tightly, tears mixing with silence. The corridors feel endless, every step echoing with memories of laughter that once filled these walls. Outside, the world seems too bright, too real. Gilmore is waiting by the gate, hat in hand, eyes full of questions and forgiveness. They walk together for a while without speaking, the weight of unspoken words pressing between them. Stella stops and looks at him, her smile faint but genuine. "I guess I finally grew up," she says. "No," he replies softly. "You just stopped pretending." She laughs, not the wild, reckless laugh of the girl who danced through life, but a quieter, stronger one, born from pain and truth. As she walks away, the camera lingers on her silhouette fading into the morning light, a fallen flapper, yes, but also a survivor of her own creation. The jazz fades into silence, replaced by the hum of a new dawn. The wild party is over, but for Stella Ames, the story of who she truly is has only just begun. In the early months of 1968, deep in the mist-choked mountains of northern South Vietnam, a lonely Marine outpost called Khe Sanh sat perched on a plateau surrounded by jungle so thick it swallowed entire patrols without a sound. And although the Marines stationed there were hardened by months of ambushes, monsoon rains, and nights lit only by the neon green glow of tracer rounds slicing through blackness, none of them were prepared for the storm about to crash upon them, because hidden beyond the fog-covered ridges, in trenches carved by bare hands and camouflaged so perfectly that even reconnaissance aircraft missed them, tens of thousands of North Vietnamese soldiers were crawling into position, encircling Khe Sanh like a tightening noose, waiting for the moment to unleash an assault that would become one of the most brutal sieges in modern warfare. For weeks, the Marines felt the pressure building. Strange silence on the trails, sudden disappearances of local villagers, sappers. Slipping through the wire under cover of night, sniper shots echoing from tree lines where no enemy could be seen, strange rustling in the bamboo forests where scouts reported finding abandoned sandals, spent cigarette butts, and freshly dug fire pits, haunting signs that an invisible army was drawing closer. But the true magnitude of the threat did not reveal itself until the morning of January 21st, when the sky suddenly erupted in a barrage of artillery so violent it felt like the entire mountain was splitting apart, shells landing every few seconds, tearing trenches open, flipping vehicles like toys, and sending shockwaves through bunkers packed with Marines who pressed their helmets into the dirt as the world above them disintegrated into flying shrapnel and burning debris. Within minutes, flames consumed ammo dumps, smoke poured across the base like a black thundercloud, and the jungle itself trembled under the assault as North Vietnamese guns, some dragged through mountains, by sheer manpower, pounded Khe Sanh with a fury so relentless that Marines later said the ground seemed to breathe, rising and falling with each impact as if the earth itself were alive and screaming. And when the bombardment finally paused, replaced by an eerie silence that felt even more terrifying than the explosions, the Marines emerged from the dust-filled trenches to see the ridgelines surrounding them flickering with movement, silhouettes shifting behind foliage, ghost-like shapes slipping from tree to tree, and the unmistakable glint of bayonets catching the morning sun. And in that moment, every man at Khe Sanh understood the horrifying truth. They were completely surrounded, cut off from the outside world, outnumbered by an enemy hidden in the jungle, and standing at the edge of a siege that would test their endurance, sanity, and courage in ways no battle before ever had. A siege that would turn Khe Sanh into a name carved forever into the history of war, a battlefield where survival itself was a victory, and where the line as the smoke from the first devastating bombardment drifted across the ruined base like a black shroud. The Marines of Khe Sanh scrambled into their fighting positions, their ears still ringing, their bunkers trembling, and their nerves stretched so thin that every rustle of the jungle sounded like the whisper of death approaching, because they all knew what was coming next. After the North Vietnamese softened the base with artillery, they would launch their infantry attacks, waves of soldiers emerging from the jungles and trenches like shadows peeling off the earth. And sure enough, just before dawn on the following day, the Marines heard it. The steady, rhythmic beating of signal drums echoing from the tree lines, followed by the faint metallic clicking of rifles being readied, the subtle crunch of boots in mud, and then, through the mist, the first shapes appeared, dark silhouettes crawling on their bellies through elephant grass. Squads moving in coordinated silence, sappers carrying Bangalore torpedoes to blast the wire, and entire platoons creeping toward the perimeter as quietly as the wind. But the Marines were ready, and when the enemy was just meters from the outer trenches, they unleashed a wall of gunfire so intense it turned the front line into a continuous flash of blinding light, and 60 machine guns rattling like angry thunder, claymore mines erupting in fountains of shrapnel, and defensive mortars firing at such a rapid pace that entire sections of the ground seemed to lift and fall from the concussions. But the North Vietnamese did not break. Instead, they surged forward with terrifying determination, stepping over the bodies of their fallen comrades, throwing grenades into bunkers, firing RPGs at sandbag walls, and launching wave after wave of human assaults that crashed against the Marine defenses like a living tide of fire and steel, forcing Marines to fight in close quarters where trenches, filled with smoke, earth, blood, and the screams of wounded men who scrambled for cover while medics crawled from body to body trying to stop the bleeding as enemy fire ripped overhead. And as the assaults intensified, the North Vietnamese siege strategy became brutally clear. They didn't need to storm the base all at once. They only needed to choke it, tighten the ring, wear down the defenders day by day, until starvation, exhaustion, or psychological collapse weakened them enough to be overrun. And to achieve that, they constructed a massive labyrinth of interconnected trenches and bunkers hidden beneath the jungle floor, stretching for miles around Khe Sanh like the roots of a colossal underground beast. Trenches so close to the Marine perimeter that enemy fighters could pop up, fire a burst, and disappear again before anyone could react. Meanwhile, inside the base, conditions deteriorated rapidly. Craters swallowed entire sections of roadway, barbed wire lay twisted and useless after repeated bombardments. The airstrip was pounded into a shredded wasteland that made landing supplies nearly impossible, and the deadliest enemy of all was invisible. The constant rain of artillery that fell day and night without warning, shells screaming out of the clouds at random intervals, killing Marines in their sleep, blowing apart bunkers that had protected them the day before, turning mess halls into smoking ruins, and filling every waking moment with the terrifying knowledge that death could strike at any second with no sound, no signal, no mercy. Yet despite the fear, the exhaustion, the isolation, and the knowledge that they were surrounded by an enemy far larger and better entrenched than anyone had expected, the Marines held the line, reinforcing trenches under fire, rebuilding bunkers that had been hit hours earlier, dragging wounded men back from the wire, and fighting with a relentless toughness carved from equal parts training, desperation, and pure refusal to die in that remote, unforgiving corner of the world where the jungle itself seemed determined to swallow them whole. Between life and death was measured not in days or hours, but in seconds. As the siege dragged deeper into February, the battlefield around Khe Sanh transformed into a nightmarish landscape where time lost meaning, day and night blending together into a single endless cycle of bombardment, fear, and survival, with the constant booming of artillery shaking the ground so violently that dust continuously drifted from bunker ceilings like a steady, gray snowfall over men who lived elbow to elbow in trenches that stank of mud, sweat, cordite, and blood, while above them the jungle canopy burned in patches from airstrikes, sending glowing embers drifting down like fiery snowflakes that hissed when they landed on the wet, crater-torn earth. And even as the Marines endured hunger, sickness, and the psychological weight of being trapped, the North Vietnamese tightened their noose, digging their trenches closer each night, sometimes advancing mere meters at a time, inching through mud with picks, shovels, and bare hands, creating an underground monster crawling toward the Marine perimeter. A silent advance, so stealthy that Marines would hear odd scraping sounds in the darkness, but could not pinpoint where the enemy trenches had extended, until one morning they would wake to find new mounds of fresh dirt just yards from their barbed wire, proof that the enemy was tunneling beneath them like ghosts. Meanwhile, the airstrip, the lifeline of the entire garrison, became the most dangerous place on Earth. A strip of torn red dirt constantly targeted by NVA artillery, where cargo planes attempted hair-raising landings under fire, pilots descending so steeply to avoid anti-aircraft guns that their wings shook violently, planes hit mid-landing erupting into fireballs that lit the entire base orange, crews scrambling through burning wreckage while Marines dashed onto the runway under fire to rescue survivors and salvage desperately needed supplies. Because without those supply drops the base would die. No food, no medicine, no ammunition, and the North Vietnamese knew it, increasing their bombardments every time they heard the distant drone of approaching aircraft. And during these chaotic resupply efforts, spectacle after spectacle unfolded. Ammo pallets falling from the sky only to be shredded by mortars the moment they hit the ground, food crates bursting open and scattering rations across the mud while Marines dove into shell craters for cover, and once a massive C-130 hit so badly by artillery that one of its landing gear collapsed, forcing it to skid across the runway in a shower of sparks as Marines cheered for the pilot who somehow kept the burning aircraft from rolling over, then formed a human chain under fire to unload everything they could before engineers set charges to destroy the wreck, preventing it from being used as cover by the advancing NVA trench systems. But even amid this chaos, the psychological strain was perhaps the deadliest enemy of all. Men sleeping in short, terrified bursts that ended every time a shell detonated nearby, men shaking uncontrollably from adrenaline and exhaustion, men scribbling final letters home during rare, quiet moments because they no longer believed they would live through another night, men whose faces aged years and weeks, their eyes hollow from witnessing friends ripped apart, their hands trembling as they loaded magazines again and again, their minds trapped between duty and despair, all while the jungle around them seemed to mock their suffering with its endless buzzing insects, rotting vegetation, and oppressive humidity that made every breath feel like a struggle. And yet, through all of this, the Marines refused to break, holding the battered perimeter with a grim, unyielding determination, knowing that the enemy was preparing for something even bigger, something they could feel in the stillness of certain nights when the jungle went silent. No birds, no wind, no distant voices, only an eerie quiet that felt like the world holding its breath, waiting for the next violent chapter of the siege of Khe Sanh to explode into reality. As March bled into April and the siege neared its climax, the Marines of Khe Sanh, gaunt, mud-stained, sleepless, and running on equal parts adrenaline and sheer stubborn will, stood at the brink of collapse just as the North Vietnamese prepared for what many believed would be their final, overwhelming assault. Yet fate turned the battlefield in an unexpected direction when the U.S. High Command unleashed Operation Pegasus, a massive relief effort involving thousands of soldiers, armored columns, and relentless air power designed to smash through enemy lines and reopen the road to the besieged base. And in the days before rescue arrived, the skies above Khe Sanh roared with a storm of American firepower so brutal and unbroken that Marines said it felt like the heavens themselves had declared war on the jungle, with B-52 bombers carpet-bombing entire ridges, F-4 Phantoms streaking overhead in screaming dives, artillery batteries pounding enemy trenches day and night, and the once thick canopy reduced to a shattered wasteland of smoking stumps and churned mud where the NVA trenches, those endless, creeping lines of earth that had haunted the Marines for months, were blasted into twisted scars across the battlefield. Yet even crushed under the weight of the assault, the North Vietnamese fought with desperate ferocity, launching counterattacks from crater to crater, firing from tunnels that had survived the bombings, sniping from hidden spider holes, and staging surprise raids. that forced exhausted Marines to sprint through choking smoke and flying debris to plug gaps in the perimeter, every moment balanced on the razor edge between survival and annihilation as the psychological toll of months under siege reached its darkest point. Men suffering hallucinations from fatigue, men breaking into tears without warning, men staring blankly into the distance during rare lulls as if their souls had slipped into the fog drifting across the ruined base. And then, on April 8th, after 77 days of isolation, starvation, unrelenting artillery, ground assaults, and fear that burrowed into the bones like cold iron, Marines standing watch on the northwestern perimeter saw movement in the distance, not enemy troops advancing, but the silhouettes of American cavalry units pushing through the haze, armored vehicles grinding forward across blasted hills. Helicopter rotors thundering overhead as dust clouds rose like ghosts, and for a moment the Marines simply stared, unable to believe that relief had truly come, until the first friendly soldiers broke through the jungle and the defenders of Khe Sanh erupted in cheers, laughter, and exhausted sobs as the siege was finally lifted. But the victory came at a terrible cost. The base was a smoking skeleton of what it had once been, trenches filled with the wreckage of weapons and the bodies of men who had held the line until their last breath. Bunkers collapsed into smoking pits, aircraft hulks rusting on the runway, and the once green hills surrounding Khe Sanh transformed into a lifeless moonscape carved by explosions, a place where nature itself seemed to mourn the countless lives lost. And when the surviving Marines were finally evacuated, stepping onto helicopters with hollow eyes, torn uniforms, and faces weathered by trauma no camera could capture, many looked back at the shattered plateau for the last time, knowing they were leaving behind not just a battlefield, but a graveyard of memories. Carved into their souls, memories of friends who would never go home, of nights where death fell from the sky, of a jungle that tried to swallow them whole, and of a siege so brutal that it became more than a battle. It became a symbol of endurance, sacrifice, and the unbreakable human will to survive even when surrounded, outnumbered, and buried under the weight of a war that seemed determined to consume everything in its path.